Right. I was in the smallest town in Belgium because I had an idea in my head that I wanted to go kayaking, and I was in Europe, and I was like, I gotta go kayaking. I'm a crazy person, and so I found this smallest town in Belgium that had kayaking. So I get there, and it's a really small town. So there was nowhere to stay. There was one house that had a room in it that was unavailable, because also you can kind of tell that if I am a very crazy person, I don't plan anything. I just go. And so there I was in Belgium, and so nowhere to stay. And then it was like 10 o'clock at night. And this man with this huge, he was a very big man with this backpack on him, and he came walking up, and he said in English, but in a very funny accent, do you want to go and stay with me in another hotel that I found down 2 miles down that way? And I was like, no. I was smart enough to say no. But we did. I don't even know where I slept. I don't even know where I slept that day. But the next morning, I was like, okay, kayak. So I find the water, the river, and I found this place, right? There's a little hut there, and I walk in, and so there's this lady there, and it's the smallest town in Belgium. They don't speak English. And so I walk in there, and I was like, hi, kayak. And she was like, and then she was like, and I was like, no, I don't want a bike. I want a kayak. And we did this for like an hour, where I was like, and she was like, kayak. I was so frustrated, which I get very easily a lot in my life, and I was like, God damn it! And so I could walk away, and I'm like, man, what am I gonna do now? There's no kayaking. And then I got it. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe she wanted me to bike somewhere and then kayak back down. So I go back in, and I was like, okay, bike, kayak? And she was like, yes! But she didn't, whatever yes was in Belgium. And so then she gave me this bike with no map, and she just said, she just told me to go up that way. So I get on the bike and I go up that way, and there's a hill, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where am I going? What am I doing? And those are the moments in life where you're like, wow, I make really weird decisions. I really should plan more. But anyway, I found another little hut with these really good-looking men, so I was like, yeah. But they also didn't speak English either. And then I dropped the bike off, and then we got in a car, and then there was a kayak on top, and so then we drove somewhere further away, and then they basically put me in this kayak by myself, and off I went. So, totally alone. I can swim. And so I'm like, and again, I'm just thinking to myself, like, Sarah, what the fuck? You're so stupid. What the fuck are you doing? And so I'm fucking kayaking down, and it's gorgeous, by the way. There's times in your life where you see something bigger than yourself. God, whatever you want to call it, but I was like, it was just so beautiful. It was me, this river, alone. I didn't know where the hell I was, and it was fucking awesome. But then I got a little bit panicky because it started to get a little rough. The water started to get a little rough, right? And I'm like, what, I've never really done this before. And then I start thinking, is there am I going to go down a waterfall? So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, oh my God, I knew this, that if oars float. So I took my oar, and I was like, I'm just going to see how deep this water is, And so I took my oar, and I'm thinking the worst, that I'm going to go down a waterfall, that I'm in this deep water. And I took my oar, and I was like, and it just stuck right there. So I was like, okay, great. It's just, I was probably going down this much in water the whole time, panicking. But, and And then I finally see that first hut with the woman who was doing this with me, and we were doing that for an hour. And I was like, I got myself over to that and got out. So, bucket list. I'm 41 years old. I've done it all. Call it out. I've done it. I've done everything. Pyramids, Great Wall of China, Paris, Venice gondola. I've seriously, there's nothing more for me to do in my life, right? You know what I want to do? I want to get my black belt in karate. I'm at a purple belt right now. Purple is for fat mothers, basically. There's a fat mothers class, and we have a purple belt right now. But I'm fucking going for it. But the thing that I want to share is that I've done it all, right? And the thing is that it doesn't matter, like, you don't have to do anything else before you die. You really don't. Because I was thinking that, the bucket is all about what I want to experience before I die, right? And then I think, well, that's real fucking selfish, isn't it? It's like, what do I want to do? And now this is coming from someone that's I feel like I've done it all. But then I'm thinking, I need to create a new bucket list, and I'm going to call it the door list. Follow me, follow me. And the door list is what you're going to do for someone else before you die. Yeah, oh, I see. You could use it. So that's kind of what I learned from doing this, is like, what do I want to give somebody experience before I die? And so that's where my next journey, that's what I'm going to be thinking about, is what do I want to do before I die? What do I want to give to somebody else? What experience do I want them to have? Pretty fucking cool, huh? Goodbye.